but it is not showing anywhere. Yeah, now it is. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. So that was the agenda, as I told. So an assumption is you are already familiar with the basics of Python, for example, just conditions, loops, functions, different containers, etc. That should do. Okay. Let us first. Okay, let me actually make it full screen. Yeah, so you can see my screen. I mean, yeah, it should not change anything, but yeah. So yeah, so sources are materials for these slides are taken majorly from these websites. So these are basically where you get Tkinter resources. I mean, there are lots and lots of resources, but yeah, for my slides, I have taken it from there. A very good YouTube playlist to learn Tkinter is from codemy.com. The link is here. So I have not uploaded the slides till now in Moodle because there might be some changes, there might be some typos, etc. That I just need to correct. I mean, my plan is basically to upload after this small sort of presentation is over. Okay, but yeah, if you just search in YouTube that codemy.com Tkinter tutorial, you will get it. Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah. Okay. Now, so yeah, so straightway heading to what is graphical user interface. Yeah, and where else than Wikipedia to get the idea about it, the first initial idea. So the graphical user interface, or as we call GUI, is a form of user interface that allows users to interact. So that is important. Interact with electronic devices through graphical icons and sometimes audio indicator also. But they are the main primary notation for interaction. So previously what you have seen is through CLI, that is command line interface. Basically you type some command, it shows the output there in command line itself. But GUI is a whole game changer, and you will see that I mean you have used it, but how to basically create those GUIs and so on, very basic ones that we will see. And what is basically the I mean these are again some very basic examples. I mean, one is button, one is some icon, this is another button, and so on. We'll see how at least to create a few buttons in Python Tkinter. Now, why GUI? So why should we study it? Because of course, I mean, CLI can be intimidating to a beginner. So I mean, just copying a file, you have to you have to type so much, and you have to be exactly right that okay, you are not misspelling the folder name, etc., etc. Just this file 1 to file 2. If you just need to copy, is this intimidating sort of comment. So, and another is of course this common wisdom that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So even if you write 1,000 words here, probably picture of just edit copy should or edit paste should do the trick, right? Easier. Okay, now since as I said that I mean we will be using our knowledge of Python that we gained doing this last assignment and also probably the class test, we will build on that. So Python GUI is what we will study, and there are lots of options. Tkinter, WX Python, PyQt, they have several peculiarities or specific nature. For example, WX Python is actually based on C++ based GUI library, but WX Python is a wrapper on it. So you can use Python to basically talk to the C++ written classes. People have developed this WX Python. Similarly, PyQt, Tkinter is the standard built-in Python GUI library. Why have you chosen to use Tkinter? Because if you have Python in your system, you are 100% sure that you have Tkinter. So built on top of this TCL TK widget set, I mean, it's not important. There are some full forms which I also don't remember, but it's just those widget sets. It can be used in many languages, and Python guys have took it. The initial Python guys have developers have took this in. PyQt is another. These three are basically platform independent. You can use in any platform. There are some platform specific GUIs also. For example, PyObjC. It's Mac OS specific library. Then Python Win is basically Windows based GUI and so on. But as I said, we will try to, we will basically brush a little or scratch the surface of Tkinter a little bit. And the assignment is also, assignment wants you to use Tkinter. But in your project, you can use anything of your liking. Now, with these very initial motivations, agendas, where to get resources, etc., just some fundamentals of Tkinter. I think I have at most 10 slides max. So fundamentals of Tkinter. This is the general workflow. So if you just, if you don't take anything away from this course or from this lecture, you say you don't know what is Tkinter, just this slide, if you try to remember, it will help you a lot to get started. So what is the general workflow? You import Tkinter module. So you have already done importing in Python, right? So because you are using some third-party libraries that you need to basically import those definitions. So you import Tkinter module that is given here. So you see the color codes match actually. So this is blue and this is blue. So from Tkinter you import everything. For the time being, everything. But if you are very sure that okay, I don't need anything else than some sub modules, you just import those only. But yeah, for a beginner starter, it is like easier if you import everything. Now create the main GUI window. So what is a main GUI window? You create the root window sort of. This has to happen before everything else related to GUI. So everything we will put it on this root. So it is just the name I have given is this root, and this just creates using this function. So tk open and close parenthesis, right? Now create main window. So this is again color coded to this box. Now create a very simple label widget. So what is a label widget? What is a widget? Widget is basically, widgets are graphical objects basically displayed in the main window, which is termed here as root. So the main window is termed here as root. Now you can put those buttons, text boxes, combo boxes or drop downs, then labels. Labels is basically just for displaying a text. So generally you don't interact with labels. In text boxes you interact. You put your text that goes into that is taken as input, and say some work is done on it. Some function basically reads it, does some work and gives output and so on. But in label it's rather dull. It is just for displaying things or text. One important thing is that in label you can actually display images also, and that you will basically require in this assignment. So since this is a part of the assignment, so displaying the image and so on, I will not go into that much detail, but I'm just giving some hint. Anyway, so label is a widget, and as I said, widgets are those teeny graphical objects that are displayed in this main window root. Okay. And now some other languages actually refer to them as UI elements or UI components. That also you will see. But here in Tkinter term, these are widgets. So we are creating a very simple label widget, which we are placing it on root or related to root. Where exactly in the root we will place, that will come later. That some concept called the geometry manager will come. Now I'm just telling it as hello label, that is the variable name that I'm giving, and I'm just putting this text hello world. So whenever this root window I will display and I will place this label accordingly, it will show you the hello world. So what have we done till now? We imported Tkinter module here. We created the main GUI window, which is root is equal to this, and we created a simple label widget which we will place there. Now tack, or I'm saying place the label object onto the screen. Onto the screen means basically onto the root window here. So hello label dot pack. It's sort of packing things. So if you are, this is the part, Tkinter term to pack. There are other terms that I will be coming in the 2 slides from now. But this is a very simple beginner thing. So, okay, you have created this hello world label. You have created the window, root window. Now you place this, you are telling your code that, okay, I just want to put this hello label into this root window. Okay, this you have told here that hello label root. So it is related to root. Now you just put it for me. That's what you are telling. And it will put wherever the pack function defines it to be put. So what I meant by this is that you don't have much control on where to put. So if you say create another label, say world label or something, or hello label 2, then if you again just put some text there and invoke this command hello label 2.pack, it will just pack it or place it just below it. So that is the default behavior. You don't have much control over where to place. You might have wanted it to basically put it side by side. For that, we have different other things. It is doable in pack, but it is a rather tedious process. Okay. So again, the fourth thing is placing this widget that you have created here in the main window. Now you enter the main event loop. Just take this main event loop as a for loop, infinite for loop. So it is just a loop or infinite loop rather. So when the code basically executes this line, it will pop up this window, and whatever you are asking, it will do until you say cross this cross button. I think it is not showing here. This red is the cross button, or there is a specific exit button that you place here. So that is there. I'm not going there. I'm just a very fast slide of Tkinter. Just 5 lines of code. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A very simple hello world you can basically show in a label. So again, just giving a little bit of time in this very first slide. I'll not probably give so much time in the coming slides. So you import the Tkinter module. You create the main GUI window, which I am terming root throughout this slide. Then or slide text. Create widgets. So you are creating this widget here, that is the label widget in this case particular. You are placing it in the root and you are starting to show it basically. So this will give you such a window. I mean, this is a Mac specific window. You can get, I mean, probably the look and feel will be different for Linux and Windows. Okay, if you have any questions in the meantime, you can just ask me. But I think this is just the very basic. So if you have questions, we'll come in later. Yeah.
Sir, could you go back to the before slide?
Yeah.
Like a very small note, sir. Like while declaring the label itself, we have declared the window, right? So like, why do we need to pack it again? Like, what's exactly pack doing?
Yeah, otherwise it will not place it, because why do you need to pack it? That will come probably be more clear. Let us actually go to the next slide. So layout or geometry management, where do you want to place? You are just saying that, okay, it is connected to root, but whether it is say top left, top right, maybe I want say 3, 4, or how can I say? I mean, some places empty, and then I want this label. Okay, I want say 2 labels side by side. All those things pack does it by its own way. Okay, so or rather I'm taking it back. So because your question is different, so whether we need to pack, so to have more control, we use again, I mean, we use grid, but in that root at least we are not saying, or like when we're creating, we are not saying where we want them. Okay, so that's one reason. I mean, it's a little hand wavy, but I mean, that's one reason, but it will be probably much more clear in the, next slide. Okay?
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, hello world will be printed after the dot pack line has been executed, right?
Actually, it will print after this root.main loop line will be executed.
Okay.
Till this line, nothing will happen. I mean, you will not see anything appearing.
Okay.
Okay, let me go ahead. So yeah, so the label widget, it's just a little detail. You will have lots of methods and attributes that are possible for any widget. So one comprehensive list that I found good is this link, which is, I mean, if you Google it for say Tkinter 8.5 reference in New Mexico Tech, you will get it. The link is given here. When I'll upload the slide, you will get it too. I think this is the same resource that is given here also. So this is a very comprehensive list, but I don't think you will need so much comprehensive list in for any of the widgets. And for that easy, I would say, reference is that playlist. Okay, so a label is, I think I have told most of the things about label. So it is used to display the text or image. It is just for viewing, not for interacting with. So here I am just playing with some of the attributes, not just text, but say font is Arial bold, size is 20. I mean, if I don't give anything, it probably takes some default size. I don't remember, probably it is 10. That you will get from the list, that comprehensive list, what are the default values and so on. You see that here the name GUI appears, right? I mean, I have just given some title, but this I have not shown in this code because this is of course an attribute of the root, right? So root.title is equal to a string GUI. If you put, then you will give put, it will give you GUI. Here it was just the default TK because I have not put anything here, any of the title.
Also, sir, these 3 dots are like a default dots, or we have created by the code?
Which 3 dots? I mean, these ones.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, these are actually, I mean, the cross sign, the minimize sign, and I think no, this is the maximize and this is the minimize. So in Mac, actually, it comes like this. In Windows, what will happen is it will come like this. So it will come. I mean, this is not taken from, yeah, Python. This is, I mean, wherever this slide source it has been taken, but in Tkinter you will get all those three basically symbols: maximize, minimize, and the cross button. Okay, and there are, I think, yeah, so this is Arial bold font 20 size, then padx 20, pady 20 basically means that you give 20 empty spaces before the start and at the end. So padx and pady. So pady is also the space on the vertical direction. So x and y. So these things are, I mean, you can get it from all this link. There are many other options. For example, background color. So it is white. So you can change it to something, some other color. Foreground color, it is black in default. So you can change it. Font, BD is, I think, the border. So if you want to have a thick border around the label or something, I forgot. Image is this one you will actually require in your assignment. So you can actually show an image here instead of a text also, but I'm not going into detail of that you need to figure out. Okay, now this geometry manager or layout manager, again, I mean, you can stop me and ask questions. I'm not just telling it every time. Okay, layout geometry. Yeah. So this arranges the widgets in the main GUI window, which I refer to as root, right? There are 3 options. Pack, I mean, Tkinter gives you these 3 options: pack, grid, and place. These 3 should never be mixed in the same master window. I think I have tried mixing it, at least in my compiler, it was giving error that you cannot mix. But what I have like seen from the documentation, that it will, the behavior is like unexpected sort of. I mean, it will be what will happen. It will depend on the compilers. Okay. Now the thing is that pack is the easiest to use, but limited in capabilities. Packing widgets by default puts them below the other. So whatever you are packing, say second, it will come below the first, and so on. So not much control. Rather, you can try to play with it. I have some example code also, I think, in the next slide. Place is one which I have not also played a lot with it, because grid gives you, I mean, the other thing, grid gives you a lot of options, but it can actually allow explicit setting of position, size, absolute terms, or relative to another widget. But again, I have not played with it, so I might not be able to give you much information about it, but you can always refer back to this link. But grid is, I think, very useful. So grid, as the name suggests, treats every window or frame as a table, a grid of rows and columns. So a table is a grid of row and column. So here, what I have done, let me just try to decipher. But yeah, before that, some information. So a cell is the area at the intersection of one row and one column. So, I mean, this is just like a table, maybe one HTML table if you have encountered it, or even an Excel table. A cell is basically intersection of row and column, right? The width of a column is the width of the widest cell in the column. So if I take this column, you see that this hello world is the same hello world. I think I've just copied that code with Arial bold and 20. So it is a little basically more wide than the CS29006 this text, because I have just padded 10 here and I have not given any default font. So it's probably 10 font size and 10 of the padding. So this was the 10 padding, but for it had 20 padding after the and before the text, right? So the width of this column, when the second column starts, it is starting after the width of the first column gets completed. So okay, this is the second column, this IIT Kharagpur. And where does the width of the first column is done, or what is the width of the first column? Is the width of the widest cell in that column, which is this first cell, hello world. Okay, so that's what I mean by this statement. Similarly, the height of the column is the height of the tallest cell in that row. So in a row, what is the height of that column? Actually, this is a typo. So again, I have to. So this is height of the row. You know, this copy pasting. So this will be height of the row. Is the height of the tallest cell in that row. Okay. Now let us see. Just read through these codes. It's a create. Okay, I have not given those importing, showing that infinite loop, etc. Just this part. So create a very simple label widget. So hello label. It's basically the same code from last basically code snippet. So it is the hello world with this Arial bold 20 pad x 20. I have not given any y pad y here. KGP level, so another level which reads this text or displays this text IIT Kharagpur with background red, foreground white. So I have changed this background color, foreground color, and pad x is 10. So you see these are the extra spaces in x direction. Okay. I think again this is a copy paste thing. This will be like CS29006. I mean, it's not just KGP level. The comment is CS29006, but it's ultimately a comment. So again, a label which has this CS29006, where I'm placing those things are coming. Now the subject level. So this is a software engineering lab. I'm padding 5 and I mean here 5 and 5 in y and x direction, right? Now let's see where are we placing it. So hello label is row 0, column 0. So you know Python is 0 index based. So I'm putting it here. Now KGP label I'm putting in row 1, column 1. Of course, if this is row 0, then this is row 1, and if this is row column 0, then this is column 1. So this is row 1, column 1. So IIT Kharagpur I'm putting here. Now course number level, which is this, I'm putting it in row 2 and column 0. So this is row 2, column 0. Now these are then empty. Now this is important, I mean interesting rather. This row 0, column 2 and row span 3. So I'm putting it in row 0, which is this, and column 2 is this, but I'm telling that you span 3 columns, equivalent to 3 columns. That's why it is filling all these 3 rows. You span 3 rows, so because it is row span, you can do column spanning also. So again, for what you can do with labels, grids, etc., go to that link. All the comprehensive lists are there. So it is actually spanning this thing. And the sticky, actually I forgot. I think it just fills the whole basically row. Otherwise it does not fill or something. But yeah, again, from top of my mind, I think I have forgot, but probably spans the whole thing.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, like in Hello World, we saw that the PADX is 20, and in the CS29006, the PADX is 10.
Right.
But visually, the spacing of CS is visually more than the Hello World.
No, actually, if you if you are like confused about this width of like from this H to this exclamatory sign, that is not the width, or that is not sort of, that is not the pad X. Pad X is from here to here. Okay, so where it will start, so you are just padding with 0. So you remember in C programming, those percent, I think it is 0 to F, I think how can you left pad with 0? In Python it is like 04D, those comment, but yeah, I think in C also something like that. But okay, I mean, not let us not go to the syntax, but you can zero pad, right? When you show in some numbers in C, right? So it is, just take it like that. You can, instead of zero padding, you are blank space padding. Okay.
Yes, sir. From the leftmost corner only, like H is coming way before than C, but the padding of H.
Okay, got it, your question. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, this is the weirdness, but I think you can try to find the basically order in it. So this is the level, this is the whole level. I mean, this is the cell. I mean, I don't have ways to basically draw, but let me try to see if I can draw.
Make this a port
Sorry?
number label in the bottom left corner.
Yes. I'm just trying to.
Sir, in that second option, there is pen.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So yeah, so if you just think, okay, so this is sort of the cell, one cell, rather one column. This is one column, and okay, from okay, for this, let me tell, this will be better. For CS29006, this is the width of the level. Okay, so this is the width of the cell. So from here to here, I don't know if I can draw this. I'm just using mouse here and here. So this is the width of the cell, and this thing is the width of the label. So the label starts here, right? From there, you have, I think, how much? 10 padding here, CS29006. Yeah, you have 10 padding here, but you have 20 padding from the start of this. So this is the start of the cell, as well. This is the start of the like the label hello world. Okay, but now if it would have been the case that you are, so say, after trying to play with this pad X, you could make this width equal to this width. Okay, I'm not saying this whole width, right? Can I undo? Eraser. Let me see. I'm not saying that, right? I'm saying that this width, if you can make by playing with this pad X equal to this width, you would have seen that it is starting, this blue thing starting it from here. Now, why is it starting here? Because the default option for grid, when it sees different width of the widget, it what is it called? Center justified. It just center place, center align. So the center of this level is aligned with the center of this level, and that's how you are getting this. I mean, is it a little clear? You have to play with it. Yeah, you have to play with it to basically no more. One thing I have not given it is like I will just ask you to play with this. Say you have row 0, column 0, row, you can do, okay, row 1, column 1 even, and just forget about sub level for the time being. And if you give row say 5 here and column 0, what will happen? I'm not saying. So you just say you don't give anything in row 2, 3, etc. 4, just give directly 5. What will happen? You see. Okay. Any questions on this layout thing? I think this is the automatic.
Sir, also this sub label row 0, column 2, it is the starting point of this span.
Starting point of this widget. Yes, that sub level. So it is row, where did I put? Row 0, column 2. So
Last, yes, sir.
yeah, so this is row 0 and this is column 2 because this is row, sorry, column 1, 0, column 1. So this is column 2. So that is the start
Yes,
of, yes. Okay, good. Let me go next. I think next are things pretty simple. I think I have one.
Sir, can we use the hex codes also while mentioning the color?
Yes, yes, but you have to probably give that hash symbol in front of it. So hash, I think all F is what? White, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it supports that HTML color coding. Yes. Okay, now button is one thing that you will mostly require because it basically enables you to initiate an event. The interactive thing is coming now. Label was not that much interactive. Okay, let me actually go through this a little bit. I think again, I have not put everything like import, the main loop, etc. So here you are defining this root. You are creating a very simple button widget, which is I'm calling like open button. Text is this open, which is the text that will come, and command equal to open click. So this command action takes the function we need to execute on button press as input. So if you press this button, what will happen, that is defined inside this function. Just the name of the function is given here. Now, one subtle thing is there which you might need in your assignment. Again, since it is given in the assignment, I am not going into it or telling it how to do it. Is if you want to basically pass any argument to this function. Okay, so open click, any sort of argument if you have to pass, what you will do. Of course, you have to write that function definition taking, which is capable of taking an input argument, but you have to change here something that I'm not telling. Okay, now what is this open click? It is just putting one click label, or rather a label, simple label, which will just display this text that click the open button. And I'm putting it in row 1, column 0, because I have plans to put the button in row 0, column 0. So I'm putting this button in row 0, column 0, and row 1, column 0. I mean, after you click this open button, this label will appear. So when you start this program, by executing that main event loop, you will not have this label. Once you click this open button, you will, this will appear. Okay. Again, this comprehensive list for button is given here. So see the button.html is appearing. So you will get all these methods that are available for open button, the change of like this appearance, foreground, background, many things are there. Okay. Is a simple button. This is one more thing. I think this is the last thing before the assignment description. Okay, so text box is called as entry in Python or Tkinter. So generally it is called as text box in other GUI languages. So entry widgets are used to get input, that is text strings from users. So it will just whatever you enter, it will treat as a string. Some important methods, I mean, just from the name you will see that .get is gets the current text. So if any user enters some text, how do you get to know in your program? So you have to execute this .get method. .insert is that actually to write any thing in the text box. You can even disable the interactive part. So there is, I think, called state is equal to disable, that will make it non-interactive, like it will be just readable, not writable. Then delete deletes the character starting at first. So delete takes these two arguments. So whatever is this number from starting from there, it will delete till the last position, but not including the last. This is same as those arguments in Python, for example, say range, those things, right? Or the slicing that we discussed. Okay, so generally the last one is not included. Okay. Yeah, similarly this insert, I'm not just not basically describing this much. Now this is the, I think, simple thing that root window you are creating. You are creating a simple text box to get your name. So I am telling it width is 50, width you can change. Place the text box. So in row 0, column 0, create a very simple button. and I think I am not showing where I'm putting. I mean, I have just taken a sort of screenshot. The later part will have the placing of this name button, etc. Now, this name button, the important part is that you are calling this name click, this function, when you want that somebody presses this enter your name button. And once it presses the button, it just reads what is there. So e.get, so e was this entry, e.get, you read it, and you are just showing that in click label. So click label is label this, then e.get. I mean, I've just combined this two. So hello Avidas, okay, and that is basically the text that will appear in label when you place it in this grid, and it is 20. So first I am putting this text box 00. Next I am putting basically 10, which is not shown in this code snippet, and that is this button. And third is when this button is clicked, I think hello, the name appears in row 2 column 0. Okay. I think these are very simple. You just have to play with it, nothing else. You have to just play with it. I'm using the term play. Now, before I go to describe the assignment, if you have any question on these very simple widgets, please ask away.
Sir,
Yeah.
Can you go back to the previous slide?
Yeah, this one, the entry.
Yes, sir. So, can we like assign some function to say the enter key? So if I want to enter some text and then press the enter key instead of clicking on some widget. So is there a way to write code for what happens when you press the enter key on the keyboard?
Oh yes, there must be, at least in Tkinter, I'm not sure, but yeah, there are like which key you are pressing that you can get as the ASCII character. You have to like check it. I have not checked it rather. Okay.
Okay. Sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
but in this slide, like the E is taking entry, right? The E variable.
Yeah, E is the text box. So basically, it's a object, right? So this grid is a sort of a class. It is defined by the Tkinter developer. Sorry, not grid. The entry, this one.
Yes,
And then you are creating an object. So you get all the methods that comes with these classes, and one of the methods is get. So when you do e.get, if there is any text, you will get. Otherwise, you just get null. Okay.
So sir, E is like just like a normal object, right? Or is it like automatically connected with button? Like suppose if this whole thing was inside a function, then I would have to pass E again to the name click function, right?
Yes. E is not associated with the button. E is just a normal object. Button is another object. So if you have now just think those two as two different objects, and what will you do with two objects if they want to interact? Okay.
Okay, sir, got it.
Okay, I hope there is no other question. So let me go ahead for the assignment description. So I have not made it public yet, the assignment, not public, rather the Moodle that it is still hidden, but just some highlights, and then I'll straight away go to Moodle. So you will need to play with Tkinter file dialog there. So you have already, I mean, done, I mean, encountered file dialogs probably millions of times in your life. So suppose you want to save some file, so whatever appears is the file dialog. So that Tkinter has this file dialog on offer, so you have to play with it. You will need to play with Tkinter combo box. So what is a combo box? That is the drop down, right? So drop down is termed as combo box. So you basically need to use that. Display images in label. So label I told, and then again I told cleverly that images I will not show you how to show the image, but it is very simple. And the assignment is based on the previous Python data science assignment. So let us actually straight away go to there. I don't have any other slide. No. Okay, where is Moodle? Should be here. Yes, so I will make it public now. Date settings, not public, rather unhide it. So you should be able to see it in this Python GUI. You can just quickly check if you can see. I can wait for 10 seconds. in Moodle. Anybody confirm, please? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let me directly go to this. So you will get the question in there. So, and I mean, actually I have copied the same instructions. So allowed to submit only one file. So one file is the file, a .py file that I will expect, but if you want to say submit the rest of it also, the sample images, etc., but I mean, you can do that, but then you need to basically put it inside a zip, I mean a directory, zip it, because Moodle does not allow you to upload more than one file, right? So a zip file would do. But also keep it in mind that 20 MB is the file size. I mean, again, we don't have any thing here. I mean, we can't change this. This is set by the administrators, Moodle admins. So it is 20 MB. So make sure that you basically upload one zip file. If you are, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the .py will not be 20 MB, but if you say decide to upload the whole folder, you make sure that it is less than 20 MB. I think last time, even after saying these repeated times, people faced issues, so the TS, they contacted the TS, and TS said that okay, delete the images, that will save you some place. Okay, anyway, so there is nothing here to tell. Let us go straight away to this link, which I have already kept open, but yeah, so this one. So it is basically inside the same repository. So this was the Python DS assignment, and this is Python Tkinter assignment. Okay, let us read for you guys. Let me just make the size a little high. Okay, so this is a follow-up assignment to the Python data science assignment, which we have already completed. In this assignment, we will design a GUI using Tkinter, which would have the following overall functionality. The GUI will provide the user to select a file from your computer. Those files, I mean, the sample files are given here. I mean, default will be that, but you can do it for any file. It will have a drop-down menu to toggle between two output options, segmentation and bounding box. So you by now know what is a segmentation output and what is a bounding box output. So segmentation gives you this, whatever is the predicted segmentation map. Okay, this is sky, this whole thing is sky, this whole thing is a dog, etc. Whole thing is elephant. And bounding box actually gives a rectangular bounding box. So it's basically the same as previous, I mean, coming from the previous assignment. Now, if segmentation is selected, then it should, that is in the drop down, if you select segmentation, then it should show the segmentation map of the selected image. So you have selected an image, right? Along with the original image file side by side. So side by side, you will show the image and the segmentation map. If bounding, I mean the drop down box is selected as bounding box, it should display the bounding box instead of the segmentation map. So that's just simple thing. Now we will obtain segmentation maps and the bounding boxes by taking help from the previous assignment, which you have already done. So this is some part that you need to like do it from the previous assignment. If you have done it right there, you will be able to do it in a whiz. Now, coding task, before I go to the coding task, let me actually give you a sample of how it should look. So this is, in order to be super clear, I mean, this I'm skipping for the time being, just to show you. I mean, this is the advantage of working with images and GUIs, like I can show you what I want. In order to be super clear on how the final GUI function should look like, here is the sample video showing it. We'd expect something similar to this, but again, individual creativity and additional functionalities are most welcome and encouraged. Okay, let me actually, I mean, if you go there and try to run it from the drive itself, it will probably run on low resolution. So what I have done is I'm just running it from local. Okay, so this is the, okay, yeah, this is the thing. So yeah, since it is running in CPU, it is taking a bit of time. Anyway, but see, I have started the video. So it is coming like this, okay, at the beginning. So you have this text box you have this, I think, these 3 dots won't be there, but let me try to confirm it. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, if you go to process, yeah. Oh, okay, sorry, it is there. I forgot. So yeah, so this is to show, I mean, just so that you, yeah, I mean, these are not required. I mean, this length of data set. I mean, this is just when we are doing it for debugging purposes we are doing. But if you just click process, this button, it should give you proper message what is happening. So process, you see, you are clicking and it is saying select a file first. So if you don't select a file and click process, at least some sort of this sort of error message, you can say, or some sort of message should come, but it will not go away. I mean, this window will not close. Okay. Now, if you press these 3 buttons, ellipses, which is the file dialog. Okay, so I have said that you need the file dialog. So clicking that ellipses button will basically bring up the select image sort of file dialog, file browser, and you can, I mean, you have ways to basically by default point it to some folder. It can be, if you are working in Windows, maybe C. If you are working in Linux, maybe root, whatever. And then there are options to, I mean, you have all encountered these, right? So, I mean, what are the files that will be shown? Is it all files start.star or say start.jpg, whatever, right? So that you can do, right? Now you select one and you are opening. Now it is showing some messages. Again, these are for debugging purposes. You may not give it. And then it is again running in CPU. So it's taking a little time. Let us, yeah, it will come. Yeah, so you see, this is the way you want it. So this is the original image that was basically selected, and this is the segmentation map. Okay, these are human, etc., etc. Now the thing is that I think, let me actually go back a little. If you see it closely, I'm not sure, the segmentation is by default chosen. So if you press this process button, it will basically come as the segmentation map. Now what will happen if you change this? We will see. So again, so now you process it again, you get this. Now you go to bounding box, you process, you see this came, right? Now if you change it, still now the bounding box is chosen. It will compute and so on. Yeah, so now you are getting bounding box, right? Now if you change it to segmentation map process, you get the segmentation map. Hopefully things are clear now. Okay, now we can close it. Okay, at least this is the behavior. So if you have any questions on this behavior, tell me. After that, I will go to this part, instructions. Hello.
Sir, one small doubt, sir. So, like regarding the segmentation mask, so like it needs to be completely the segmentation mask, or like can it be the blended image, like it shows the original image a bit in
the blended image. By segmentation mask, we mean blended image. So you see the sample thing. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So see, this is the blended image. Okay. So this blending has to be done.
Okay, sir.
So this was given in the last assignment. This is not from. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I think as you go ahead, you will get probably questions. Okay, let me actually go to describing this. Actually, it will be better if I go there, but yeah, let me just try to highlight. I mean, go there means in the code. So for the assignment, you're expected to modify a single file, which is called image viewer gui.py, which should be maximum of 120 lines of code. But yeah, I mean, it's up to you. So this is image viewer gui.py. I'll go there in a minute. So you have to define this function. This is sort of the main function that you need to write. I mean, this is where probably the biggest amount of code will go. It is file click. The function should pop up a dialog. So this is the behavior. I mean, this thing is also written as a comment there also, but I'm just telling it here. The function should pop up a dialog for the user to select a input image file. You have seen the behavior. Once the image is selected by the user, it should automatically get the corresponding outputs from the segmenter. Call the segmenter from here. Once the output is computed, it should be shown automatically based on choice of drop down button is at. I think by showing the video, I think things are clear. But if you have any question, you can ask. Okay, let us go ahead with this process. There is another function that you need to do. Should show the corresponding segmentation or the bounding boxes over the input image with respect to the choice provided. The function will just show the output, which should have already been computed in file click. So in file click, actually you compute the output. What is the output? The segmentation map and the bounding box. But when you click the process, then it will show it. Okay. So now you see why it was taking so much time when you are choosing the file. Because at that time it was computing the output also. When you are doing the process, it just shows it. Okay. Also, you should handle the case if the user clicks on the process button without selecting any image. That was the very first thing that we showed, that okay, need to select a file first and complete the main function. It is like a very small part that you need to complete, and imports. So what are the things? I mean, one import you can basically understand, it is the Tkinter thing, but other than that, for showing the images, there are some things that you need to import. All the details are mentioned as comments in the code file as well. Note, you need to add your codes at the specified locations only. The section, I mean, this is basically the same as previous one. Begin with this flag code required start and code required end. So quickly I'm showing you this image viewer py. So here, required imports from the previous assignment. These are now add the additional imports for the assignments here. So you have to add the additional imports. These are done for you, but this is here you need to. Okay, let me just try to make it a little. Yeah, so this is where you need to add those imports. File click is the portion, the same comment is written here, and this is where you need to basically put the code inside file click, process, and then this main function. Some part you need to write here. Instantiate the root window, you know what is instantiating the root window, provide a title, then the main event loop, I think execute the main loop and so on, right? So these things should be easier. I mean, this main part is easier. Maybe these are some of the things that you need to do. Any questions? Oh, deadline is as usual, start of next week's class. So 2 p.m. I hope next week. Any questions? You are able to basically access this from Moodle. So if you click here, it will come, right? Okay, I'm assuming that's an affirmative answer. So yeah, you can.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, in my machine, it says no module named Tkinter. Sir, you said that it should be installed inbuilt.
That's a weird thing. You can run Python?
Yes, sir, I did the previous assignment.
Oh God, I have never encountered this. Maybe which TA group you are in?
The TA group of Shiva Weldy, sir.
Okay, you can try to interact with him and see.
Okay, okay.
And that I have never encountered. I mean, it generally comes, but I think you can install. Let me just quickly see. It's which OS it is?
Ubuntu 18.04.
Oh, it should come. I mean, I didn't have to do anything. I mean, you can use the Conda. I mean, just install Conda, the base environment it gives. I think I have that window open.
Okay, sir, I will do that, sir.
Yeah, the base window. Yeah, I was running this, and yeah. Yeah. Okay. You can head to the.
Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, all of you. I'm saying that head to the TA rooms. They can start there. Yeah, there are some answers I am seeing. You can try to do this, follow this. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so like in the codes, it's like written my package dot something. So like it's expected we'll use the setup.py which we had made and all those.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Previous. It is dependent on the previous assignment. Okay.
Yes, sir. So then about the file directory from which we'll take the images, is it fixed or like do we need to take some kind of input or something?
Yeah. For that you need to import something. That you need to figure out.
No, so like can we fix it to some specific directory, because then it will be some specific directory according to our laptop and it might not work in every.
There are options to basically fix the default location. So once you click, I mean, suppose you are trying to save a file, right? That you have seen. You just click that save as button. It goes to some directory. That's the default directory, right? So that you can set via this Tkinter code.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So yeah, you head to the, I think the TA rooms, all of you.